Hey, fire signs. Welcome to the channel, Divine True Tarot. I am your reader, Anetta. And fire signs, I have people working outside on my balcony. So I'm going to try to see if we could get through this reading without having a whole bunch of interruptions. And I'm already seeing that I'm already irritated. Okay? So I'm going to see what's going on. But if it goes too much into our reading, we're just going to have to hold off. But let's go ahead and get it, okay? So, fire signs. Please keep in mind that this reading is general, the energies are fluid, and the message is timeless, okay? Fire signs, we're going to look into see what your person is not telling you, what you need to know, what they're not saying, and what messages Spirit have for you, okay? So let's go ahead and hop on into it, and let's go, fire signs. My Aries, my Leos, and Sagittarius, okay? Woo! Somebody can't handle the love that they have for you, or they can't handle the love that you have for them, okay? Yeah, the heat between you is too intense. Ooh, they can't handle. Oh shit! Wait a minute. Is this somebody here that, yeah, they can't let you know? I need to figure myself out. Damn, yeah. Somebody got a burning desire for you. They can't handle it. Okay? But it's almost like they need to figure it out. They don't shit. They don't know if this real love, true love, fake love, or something like that. Ooh, collective. I like this. I kind of like it. But they can't handle your love. Okay, so are you overwhelming this one? They need to figure it out. Are they about to miss an opportunity with you because they can't level up to you? They can't match you. They can't see you. Okay, they can't give the love that you give them. They can't match the love that you're giving them. Yeah, childhood trauma. So this is somebody here that never received the type of love you're giving. Okay? Will you leave me like others? They have abandonment issues. Yeah, they can't do this right now. They're running. They're running from you, baby. Because of their childhood issues and traumas. They need to figure themselves out. Painful memories is here. I can't come to you now. I am the man. Somebody is in their ego. Is it over? Okay, so, you know, it's almost making me feel like somebody got to come into their own self to figure out if this is something that they want with you. But with their childhood trauma being triggered because it hit the table and they need to figure themselves out, it feels as though they don't deserve this type of love that you have for them. Okay? It's too much for them. They don't know what to do with it. Damn, will this pain ever stop? What happened here? It's almost making me feel as though, collective, you triggered this person into some type of healing energy here. Yeah, will this ever change? What do you see in me? You triggered your person to heal, baby. And they don't know what to do with it. They never had this type of love. I'm feeling unconditional love that you have with them. They running from it. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, they need to figure themselves out because their childhood traumas is triggered. And will this pain ever stop? Did you separate? Did you separate, baby? Damn, that's what's happening. Okay, so it's making me feel like, collective, somebody here separated. You separated from your person and they can't handle that shit. No, they never had a love like yours before. And they don't know what to do with it. Excuse me for all the shaking, but let's see. Let's dig into this a little bit more. Yeah, look, the sun energy, you made them completely happy and they ran from it. It's almost like they just can't match you. They can't level up to you. 9 of air, they all in their head about it. Sleepless nights is here. Overthinking is here. Yeah. Some of them, they lost your love. Oh, shit. Okay, let's go. It's a mess right now is what I heard. Yeah, their energies about you, collective, they a mess. Because they can't handle it. Look, 5 of air is here. Okay, so look at the Empress. Did you defeat this one when you pulled back your love? I think that's what happened, and they want to know if this pain will ever stop. They need time to figure it out. Because the love that you two have experienced between each other, they never felt it. They never had it. They don't know what to do with it. Okay? They feel defeated by the Empress. So it's almost making me feel like you left this one right here in shambles. Yeah, and they can't handle the type of love that you was giving, Empress. Damn. Yeah, they never felt a love like this before. And shit, you triggered them. You triggered their childhood wounds here. You're not with this person. Nah. And they want to know whether the separation never changed. What can you tell me about what can you tell me about this childhood trauma? Let's go ahead and look at that. Holy Spirit, what can you tell me about childhood trauma? Damn. That jumped out the deck. Woo! Devil in the reverse. This one right here could have been addicted to some type of toxicities when they was in their childhood. They could have been M-word when they were a child, and they still have to deal with the trauma of that. And so, therefore, they could have blocked themselves off from receiving love because the love that they received was toxic. It was traumatic. Here, their outlook on love has been tainted here. Hence the reason why they can't handle your love here. With this release, is they're not releasing this toxic idea or this toxic mindset that they have when it comes to love. Hence the reason why they couldn't handle your love. Yeah, juggling energy, 2 of Pentacles. They don't know what to do. They in between 2 worlds is what I'm hearing. This is how come they need to figure themselves out. And it's starting with their childhood trauma collective. Yeah, because they had a toxic childhood. What is this that fell out on childhood trauma? Let's see. Damn, the 4 of Air in reverse. They're not healing, baby. They are restless. They cannot. It's almost like they got to deal with this now. And with this childhood trauma and the 4 of Air in the reverse, they're dealing with it now. Hence the reason why I heard they ran. You triggered this one. You triggered this one to go into self, to heal those things that was hurting them, the things that they were carrying for years since their childhood. This is really making me feel like somebody could have been touched as a child, and so it warped their idea of what love looked like. Somebody could have started having sex at a young age, and I'm getting this, excuse me, but they could have started being sexual at a young age. And that right there, it warped their idea of what love is or what love looked like. Okay? That's what I'm getting. Child, their heart chakra, baby, look it. Their heart chakra, 3 of Earth and balance, and the 9 of Air, they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to feel. They don't know how to love is what I heard. That heart chakra is being activated here. And this is how come they can't handle your love, because this is what you've done. You put them in a mental conflict when it came to their heart chakra. Okay, when it came to what love is and what love isn't. Okay, and then we have the star energy and the renewal. Okay, so this is what's putting, and then we have the Ace of Earth. Okay, so this is putting this person in a newness of self, but because they're in this 2 of Pentacles energy, they don't know how with this mental conflict. This is the reason why they need to figure out what it is that they need to do in order for them to heal or get over their childhood wounds. This one right here has been disappointed by a parent or somebody that they had looked up to or somebody that they had a lot of love for. It disappointed them. They hurt them or something like that. And that triggered this person into their wounds all the way up into adulthood. And now they got to handle that shit. And they are in a mental conflict behind it. Okay? An old way of thinking. They got to change it. It has been cracked, baby. Okay? We have 2-2 out here. So 22 could be significant. I heard 2022. So you could have met this person in 2022. Or this could have started this childhood trigger. Or this childhood trauma has been triggered in the year 2022. That's what I'm getting. It's very, very significant here. That date or that year. Okay. But I will say this. With this judgment and the devil in the reverse, this is somebody that is coming into their own. Yeah, they're coming into their own by releasing the hurt, the thoughts, the pain of what happened to them when they were a child. Now, this could be somebody grown that was still in a childlike mental state with this mental conflict and childhood trauma. This is somebody that never grew up. This is somebody that suffers from arrested development because of the bullshit that happened in their past. You triggered their awakening or you triggered their healing when they came into contact with you. This is how come they can't handle your love. Baby, you trigger somebody into an awakening and they're going through the shits right now. Because they're waking up, they're leaving that old paradigm or their old mindset or old way of thinking behind. Because you triggered it. And you triggered it through your love, through your compassion, through the care that you have given this person. They never experienced it. They grew up in trauma. Their childhood was full of trauma, baby. They never experienced love like this before. And because of that, they didn't know how to handle it when they were in connection with you. They don't know if they can even get out of this. Will this pain ever stop? Will this ever change? Something happened. Will this? Will this? Will this? They're stuck. They're stuck in some type of traumatic energy that happened since childhood or because of a childhood trauma that they're dealing with right now. And you triggered their healing. You triggered them to get on that healing journey, to change their mindset, dealing with that heart, baby. They have a brand new opportunity to step into a new with this Ace of Pentacles and the star energy with the Judgment here. Yeah, they do. This is how come they need time to figure themselves out, because they're going through the change, baby. Okay? What's changing with this person? What is this childhood trauma? What is changing with this person? Because I don't want to get off into the childhood trauma, because there ain't nothing but some old toxic bullshit. And I'm quite sure, collective, you have an inkling of an idea as to what it is, okay? They need to figure themselves out. So what is it that the collective's person needs to figure out? Thank you. Well, we have distracted, emotional storm, and self-esteem. See, their self-esteem got fucked up. Because it's almost like their idea or their outlook of who they are, how they look at themselves, self-reflection, their self-esteem has been warped. And it threw them in this emotional storm that they're getting out of. So it's really making me feel like your person had a whole lot of self-esteem issues because of their childhood trauma that they're trying to work out of. And it's been some toxic ass shit. So your person, they could have been the type of child that was never loved properly, that was always put down, that was always talked about, that could have been bullied by adults, okay? Or older children, like teenagers or something like that. And it really, really messed up their self-esteem about self. Like they wasn't good enough, they wasn't pretty enough, they wasn't skinny enough, they wasn't hard enough, or some old bullshit like that. Okay, they wasn't down enough, or something like that. That's what's going on with your person. And it's making me feel like it could have been their environment growing up, that they didn't feel like they were enough. And because of that, they grew up with that, thinking that they have, or grew up thinking that they're not enough, having these self-esteem issues, to when they ran into you, because you accepted them for who they are, they didn't know what to do with that. So they thought that maybe you were phony, fake, lying, using them or something like that. And then they couldn't handle that type of connection or that type of love that they was receiving from you, and so they could have did something to disconnect from you. And right now they are going through the motions as to the consequences of separating from love. Okay, so yeah, and this is why they're in a mental conflict. Shit, they feel like they curse. You okay? So some of them could be going through some type of generational curse that they're breaking up or breaking from. They're breaking a general curse, especially when it comes to emotions and self-esteem. So your person could have came from a family who wasn't highly regarded, or who, you know, they come from a line of people who weren't on the, I want to say, I'm hearing limelight, but that's not the word I'm looking for. You know, they could have came from, you know, a line of people who wasn't that self-assured, you know, who was always timid, who family didn't, always had self-esteem issues. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And you know, that's just, it ran in their bloodline. with this cursed energy. It ran in their bloodline. Their self-esteem issues ran in their bloodline. Now, it could be low self-esteem or high self-esteem. I'm getting low self-esteem, but high self-esteem kicked in with this curse. Okay, like they was always too good, or they always had it going on, or they was always above other people or something like that until they got their ass knocked back down to size. And now they starting to see like, oh shit, I wasn't all that, or oh shit, I wasn't really the prize, or something like that. But it's knocking on their ego and their self-esteem, and this is a part of their childhood trauma. Their childhood trauma has cursed them. This is feeling like a generational curse here, a mindset. Thank you for the confirmation. And they're breaking that. With this Judgment, Hope, and Ace of Pentacles, they're breaking that. And that's what your person is going through. That's how come they need time to figure out. They need to figure out these self-esteem issues that they grew up with. Okay, something could happen with their finances here. What's going on with the finances? Lusting. So some of them need money. Yeah, some of them need money. They could be doing anything for money. That comes along with the self-esteem that is low. So, you know, they could be bottom feeding, trying to get this money. They could be bottom feeding with people because they have money. Something like that. Yeah. Reconciliation is here. So with this reconciliation and legal issues, they could have went back to something or some type of mindset or family dynamic, or even just decisions that they made in life that they now caught themselves up in some legal issues. With this reconciliation and legal issues, is almost making me feel like they repeated some type of criminal activity, criminal lesson, karmic lesson. They repeating that motherfucker right now because they have not healed from this childhood trauma that their family bloodline is cursed by. Okay? Yeah, reconciliation and legal matters and issues, they redoing this shit, and it's behind money. Your person could have did some more bullshit for money, and now they got their ass caught up in some legal issues, and they could come from a lineage of criminals. Okay? That's what I'm getting. Yeah, they think that's just the way it's supposed to be. No, the fuck it ain't. Not until they ran into you. Now they feeling hopeless because their hands are tied, because they trapped up in some type of legal issues because of the mindset that they have set in. And this mindset came from their lineage. You know, their daddy and their uncles and their older cousins and shit. This is how we do things. This is how things are supposed to be. This is how we live life. Something like that. This is how you get that money. I heard a family of dope heads and drug dealers. Take the message as it resonates. That's what's here. Return. You see what I'm saying? Somebody, they want to return back to you because they know that with you they have hope. Hope and hopeless here. They know with you they have hope, especially when it comes to legal matters and issues. This is why they want to return, Vern. Shit. They done changed their perspective of life because they dealing with you. You know, crack the code is what I heard. Yeah, you done cracked the code of the mistakes that they always make. This is generational mistakes. Shit. Yeah, committed to the enemy. They always commit to the fucking enemy. Always be loyal to the wrong motherfucker. They family always do this shit. This is what I'm getting. This is generational, baby. I heard a family of fuck-ups. This is your person. This is why they need time to figure themselves out, because they know they come from a lineage of fuck-ups. They know that bloodline is cursed because of the childhood trauma that they had to endure or grow up in. This is how come they couldn't handle your love. They never experienced it. They always commit to this enemy-ass energy. Always sleeping with the enemy is what I heard. One day they will use their intuition because karma gonna kick that ass. Karma is kicking that ass today. Because of these third-party influences that they trying to abandon, or they abandoned you, especially if you had a family with them. For some of you guys, if they have a family with this third party, oh, they out because of karma. Yep. Soulmate. Not showing true self. So this is somebody that they could have connected with on a soul level, okay, through their childhood trauma bonding and shit like that, okay? And that right there kept that perpetual curse going. And especially if they created children with this one that they trauma bond with, that curse or that generational curse is still going down. It's still going on. It's still going to be passed down. Will this ever change? Shit, this is the universe asking this. This is what I'm seeing. Okay? Will this bullshit ever change? Who knows? Apology, thinking of you, and fantasizing. So some of them is fantasizing or really overthinking about how they're going to apologize for the bullshit that they have done against you in the connection because of their generational curse, baby. They're breaking that. Yeah, because of the karma that they're receiving. This hope energy, the star energy, this is the reason why I say they're breaking that. Okay? Will this pain ever stop? Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, this pain will stop once you stop the pain. And this is what your person is going through. This is how come they need time to figure themselves out. This is somebody that's doing the work. They are mentally conflicted, okay? They are mentally conflicted, and they're, of course, correcting that, okay? Baby, it was only you all the time, but they ghosted you because they was in this shape-shifting energy, okay? They didn't show their true self. And so, therefore, they didn't show up as their true self because of their childhood trauma. And this is what keeps the curse going on. And this is how come they're blocked, or they feel like they're blocked. Yeah, this divine masculine is blocked because they still have this generational curse on their bloodline, especially if they created another family dynamic, or they created children with somebody they have a family dynamic with. Marriage, yeah. Yep, sacred union. This masculine is blocked until they fix that shit. Yep, withdraw until they withdraw from the chaos that they have created and caused. Yep. And this is why they're in a mental conflict, wondering, will this ever change, because of who they connected with. Three of Pentacles. Who they went into business with, who they went into an agreement, a contract with, or something like that. Could have been because of money. That's how come they have financial issues right now. Yep. This is why they was non-committal towards you, collective. Because this one right here was going into some type of agreement or a commitment elsewhere. And this is part of their childhood trauma. This is how they grew up. Some of them, they could have had uncles and cousins and brothers that really didn't have successful relationships. So they didn't have no example of what a successful relationship looked like. They didn't have an example of living a better life for themselves because they was just surrounded by toxic motherfuckers that always caused trauma and bullshit in their childhood. So they grew up like that. You know, some of them, they grew up watching domestic or what you call that? DVs and M-words and things like that of their partners, their spouse, their mate. Okay? Always seeing them fighting and arguing and going to jail and people coming over with black eyes and broken arms and things like that. Like it was normal to live like that. No. Your person is starting to see that shit is fucked up. Your person is starting to see how traumatic their childhood was. And this is why they're in a mental conflict, because they're course correcting or changing their outlook or their prospect or their perspective, their perspective of what love looked like. Okay? This feels like somebody who grew up in a lot of domestic violence situations when it comes to uncles and aunties and things like that. Oh, this is how they always are. Oh, this is what happens when we get mad. We supposed to do this. We supposed to always argue. We supposed to always fight. We supposed to always be upset or something like that. That was a norm. And that was a curse on their lineage because it was normal in their family to be like that. I heard cheaters. It was normal in their family for their men to always have a side piece or some old shit like that. Or it was normal in their family for the women to have Mr. Jones around the corner because Paw fucking up or some old shit like that. But now they see the truth because your love changed them. They couldn't handle it. You showed them exactly what love looked like. Exactly what love is. And because they can't handle it, this is how come they need time to figure themselves out. Because they get the picture. They're getting the message. And this is how come they're in a mental conflict. Okay, baby? So, yeah, you are a catalyst for change. You are a catalyst for this person to open their heart chakra, to heal their heart chakra. And it's sitting right next to mental conflict. You see what I'm saying? Somebody could be 42 years old. Somebody could be 24 years old. Okay? Somebody's birthday could be April 2nd. Who knows? Okay? All right, my loves, I'm going to leave it right here. This is the message that I have for you. If any of these messages resonated, please, please, please drop a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye.